REHBACH, and we're trying a new experiment in this video. I'm going to be running the game at ×10 speed. Just going to check the game settings. So we are currently on 3-day months. We'll see if that's enough. Quick check on the sheep. So currently they've got nearly 6,000 litres of food, and there's another nearly 6,000 litres in the grazing buffer. So they should be pretty good for food for a while. And we've got a few months before we're going to have our first set of lambs. And today's job is going to be to try and fix the fact that the grass needs ploughing. And we're going to do that with the grassland subsoiler that comes as part of Maize Plus. And I also thought, I've been speaking in a few of the videos for a while in this series about picking up a new tractor. And I thought a Valtra M series would be quite cool. I don't think I've ever used this tractor. So it was browsing mod hub, and yeah, I think this could be quite cool. We'll get a front 3-point as well. I want to go for the 150 horsepower version. I'm not worried about speed because we've got the Unimog to get around the map, so that should be okay. Michelin, Midas. Okay, let's stick with treadle balls, shall we? Don't care about any of those. Not really. Reverse driving. I don't think we need that. Not for 15 grand. Wheel weights, no. Fenders standard. Intake pipe. No, that's fine. We don't need a beacon. Front loader attacher. We don't have a front loader at the moment, so I'm going to go with quickie. That do double quickie. So we've got no quickie or different quickie or yes. Interesting. We will go for the first quickie. Color. Have we got good Valtra colors? Oh, no, no. Oh, no, no. But I do like an orange Valtra, so yep. I think that will do us quite nicely for £84,000. And then we are going to go into Maize Plus. And I'm going to just lease the grassland subsoiler. And we'll lease the mulcher at the same time. Do both. Get the job done. Have not used this tractor mod before, so hopefully it will be okay. Literally went on mod hub looking for reasonably priced tractors that had the kind of amount of power that I wanted. Now this potentially would have been a good candidate tractor for the Maize Plus pig farmer, but we've gone for it on here, so it won't be now. Actually quite fast, acceleration wise anyway. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. Yeah, so the theory is that what I want to try and do with this is see how much we can achieve playing on ×10. That should mean that a day takes about an hour. I'm not necessarily going to record the whole hour, but yeah, hopefully it's going to let it's an experiment that may make its way into some of the other series, and it's about bringing a bit more pace to the videos, not necessarily to the videos, to the series. So, and spoke about it in a Patreon video, which I need to remember to go and release when I finish doing this. Yeah, and it's not about rushing things, because if I find I'm not having enough time, I will add more days into the months. But it's about moving things on and not just being stuck on playing on half time and never achieving things. Not necessarily never achieving things, but yeah. I used to, way back when, back in one of my favourite series ever, which was Sandy Bay, I pretty much never used to take it off ×5. And if I couldn't get it done in the day, it didn't get done. And when I started on Saxthorpe, that was kind of the intent. That was a bit weird. But I kind of lost my way with it again, because it was like, oh, I need a bit more time. So I'm just going to slow the clock down. And yeah. So we're going to try and get away from that, because I want to try and make it a little bit easier for me in terms of turning around farm sim videos and not spending like 3 hours making a single video. Because that's why there are less, because sometimes they take a really long time to make. And I want to try and get them into more of a style of how I make Timberborn videos, where, and now they won't be as long as a Timberborn video, because there I really just talk about what I'm doing in the game, and that doesn't work with farm sim. You know, I'm raising the implement, I'm lowering the implement, it doesn't work. But it's much easier to make a video when I just set aside like an hour or whatever, and yeah. Now that doesn't mean, so this video I'm doing the commentary live. It doesn't mean for all of them I'm going to have live commentary, because that's still difficult. But I am just going to try and control the time more that it takes me to actually record the gameplay. That's the theory. If you've been here a while, you'll know that's not the first time I've attempted this theory. So we'll see if I manage to stick to it. But yeah, and this is a job that might take more than one day. So it's a big job. It's a non-trivial size grass field. You might hear the dog next to me. He's sleeping. Still planning to pick up field 29 as well. We already own field 29. That would be why the corn's not being harvested. I obviously forgot I brought that. Okay. Oops. We need to hire ourselves. I should check the calendar in that case. We need to harvest that corn. That'll be a job for next game day now. Yeah. So we need to hire ourselves a combine and get that corn harvested. I also am going to go in to VCA, put those on, and put on, there we go. That should help us with the hill. Yeah. I literally just been over to that field and was not at all paying attention. So yeah, we need to deal with harvesting that field, and the thing that looks like a combine on the map is our root crop harvester. It is not a combine. So yeah. So been a long time since we've played consistently on here. This was the streaming series, which it will be when I get back to doing that. So yeah. I'm going to get a bit of this done, and I'll come back to you probably once I've got some headlands done and we're on the up-down roads. But just finishing up doing a bunch of short runs on this end of the field. So probably need to do some at the other end as well, because I don't think we did any at that end. But I think that will make the job a little bit more tolerable. It's quite bumpy here. I had a quick look at the onion garden. That seems to be doing okay. I'm just going to let that run for a while. Do its thing, store up some pallets of onions. And the fabric price. Let the game save. We've still got a way to go. Actually, we've got to go all the way through to May to get the best price on the fabric. But if we have a quick look, hopefully we can look before. Yeah, we've got to go all the way through to May to get a good price on that. So bit of a wait to go before we're going to see any huge cash injections, but that's okay. We might end up selling some lamb, I guess, so there might be value in adding in the butcher mod at some point. That corn will probably sell. I don't think we need that this time. I think we're good for feed with everything that we've got, so yeah. It's been for me anyway, it's been a quiet week in Farm Sim. It's been a very busy week out in the real world. So yeah, not been paying so much attention to Farm Sim. I guess there's been no real FS25 news, I don't think, not that I've seen anyway. I think that maybe the biggest news, which you may or may not have seen, may or may not have suffered issues with, there was a problem with NVIDIA GPU drivers and FS22. So yeah, that could cause people issues. So I have chosen not to update to the latest version. Apparently Giants put out a statement which I've not been able to find. The only thing that I saw was a Farmer Klein post about it. And I know Kartek had issues when he updated. So if you've got an NVIDIA GPU and you've updated and you've had issues, roll back your drivers, I guess. Or if you get a pop-up at the moment, maybe, I don't know which version it is that has issues, but maybe just hold off on this update. Yeah, it's not like the worst you're going to have to do is roll back the driver, so it's not the end of the world, is it? But it's always a bit frustrating with those things when you update and it breaks your game. You know, you jump on, you want to play, you see update driver, you think, I'll do that because it's, you know, it's the right thing to do, and suddenly FS breaks. And probably it's not the first thing you think that it's an update to a graphics card driver that's done it. You know, you probably think, oh, what mod did I update that broke it? Yeah. Oh, I need to. I'm really bad at updating mods. Actually, I need to update Maze Plus on here, and probably a bunch of others as well. The update to Maze Plus is live. I mean, it doesn't really affect too much in terms of playing the game. I guess the main things are the error catching. Now, if you've got too many height types, or it's really if Maze Plus can't register its height types, then it'll give you a warning. So I guess if you've got mods that load later than Maze Plus that can't register their height types, it won't give you a warning there. But and obviously not a great one to ignore. If Maze Plus can't register the height types it needs, it's probably not going to function properly. And then the Bale types one, which I think with that one you've maybe just got to go into it with your eyes open and understand that you might not get the silage as you expect out of baling. You know, if you bale with a baler that has incompatible bales and you're baling grass, you might end up with silage rather than grass silage. It's that kind of thing, you know. So yeah, it's good. It's good. I need to. So I missed the 2 English Terra live streams this week due to real life, and I need to catch up on what Paul's shared with people to know what I can talk about. Started watching one of them so far, I'm partway through, but I haven't had time to listen to all of them yet. No, we won't be talking about anything Terra Lifey today. Hoping I can make next week. Work is very busy, so one of the many reasons that I didn't go to FarmCon was I was expecting work to be very busy around the period of FarmCon. It was, but not for the reasons that it was supposed to be. Some work has been delayed, and that's starting to happen soon, and that will interfere with my availability to do all sorts of things over the coming months. So yeah, I'm going to be in hotels a lot more, basically, which who knows whether I'll have internet which is suitable for that kind of thing. We will see. We will see. But yeah, so not a lot of news like Farm Sim, like FS25 wise. I guess by the time this video comes out, the Vintage Oaks should be out. I know I've been on the Discord channel for the testing of it. I've not had time to be too active in the testing of the Vintage Oaks. I've had a look around a couple of versions, been chatting with Farms in Briscoe about some choices about different things. It's a stunning looking map. I thoroughly recommend you check it out. It will be on his itch page, so yeah, it's an awesome looking map. Definitely recommend people check it out if they want to play a really nice UK map, basically. At the point that I'm recording this, it's not released yet, but I know he's aiming for release this weekend, so hopefully it's out by the time this video comes out, or if not, very soon after. So he's got a bunch of the community helping him test it at the moment. And they're kind of just picking up those last little bits and pieces, so hopefully once it's available for folks, there'll be less of those annoying little bugs. So, yeah. What else have we got to chat about? So, I'm kind of in having a bit of a chilled out day today. It's Saturday afternoon-ish, coming into the evening. Yesterday we had to go into central London for some real life stuff, and it was pretty exhausting. I actually slept in this morning till almost 7 a.m, which is pretty rare for me. And I haven't done too much today. A few little bits and pieces around the house. Relatively short run. A bit of editing, this and that. And yeah, it's been kind of cool. Been playing a bit of Battle Pirates. Don't know if there are any of you left watching. I know at least one person has commented that they used to play as well. So yeah, that game's going through an interesting phase. They're doing a bit of a reshuffle of all of their events and things, and their initial release has not gone well, shall we say. Yeah. As someone who doesn't like change, obviously it's not great. And equally, yeah, as someone who generally does quite well at planning for these things, and I was relatively well prepared for most of it. They then gave away a whole load of free stuff, which really peed me off because I had a lot of it sorted. Anyway, yeah. So this week there's the first of their raid events is happening for this new cycle of stuff is happening this weekend. So I've been playing that as well, which is cool. I finished watching. I spoke about that in the Patreon video. So most of you, I finished watching Dexter New Blood the other day. Series was, I kind of enjoyed the series because I was kind of binge watching it, but it felt like they rushed the ending for me. It felt like it should have been about twice as long, and I didn't like the ending. But that's a different thing, and I'm not going to spoil the ending in case anyone actually wants to watch it and hasn't seen it yet. So yeah, the idea had so much potential, and I felt like they rushed it. Oh well, it is what it is. You can't change these things, can you? Well, I can't because I'm not a production studio, so. Actually, this job's going relatively quicker than I thought. We might actually get it finished in the game day. So, wrong implement. I really need to bring my mini keyboard downstairs for this. Although I only have one more USB port spare on the laptop, so yeah. It's a nice looking tractor though. It's a nice looking tractor. I know I say it a lot. Kale's maps look so good. I'm not sure if Kale is the right pronunciation, but yeah, I love his maps. I really, really hope he does stuff in FS25. Again, I think he's one of those mappers that, but it feels to me anyway, because I see a lot of big creators using his maps. It almost feels like they kind of sneak under the radar, but I always think they're really nice looking maps. They're generally quite small maps. I mean, if you look at the, I don't really know if it shows in the PDA. Yeah, I mean, he tends to use quite a small area of available area, but I quite like that. If you're playing a single player game, it's quite nice. Yeah, and he uses the some really nice building packs and stuff. Yeah, I like them. They're good. They usually, for small maps, they usually have quite a lot of farms. They usually have quite a nice amount of detail. And I'm playing 2 of them at the moment, which is, I guess, an indication that I like them. I think they fit how I like to play quite well. I think they fit Maize Plus quite well as well, because, you know, you've got quite small fields, which is quite good because you generally need to grow quite a few crops. Yeah. I thought I was leaving a gap then. It doesn't appear to be. So let's just check the PDA again. Yeah, we are doing good. So at this point, say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. You are all awesome. If you're interested in any of those, there are links below. And I've just rebooted the multiplayer aspect of Patreon. So the £5 and above tiers get access to the Glenlartham save. There's a contractor's farm on there where they do stuff. It's cool. So restarted that this week. So and occasionally they'll get involved in doing farming with the main farm as well. I guess the other one, let's do them both at once, is if you're thinking of picking up FS25, then think about using my Giants partner code. It doesn't cost you any more money. It helps me out. I'm still about 3 to 4 copies of the game away from Bronze Partner and Early Access when FS25 releases. So, yep. If I have done my job editing the video, there will have been a QR code on the screen that you could use, or links in the description again. So it doesn't cost you any more money, helps me out with a tiny bit of commission, and more importantly, hopefully early access to the game so that I can start preparing all those tutorials that you guys like. I should start putting that in the tutorials because more of you watch those than watch these videos, that's for sure. I actually got a really good Maze Plus tutorial I need to put together that came up after some conversations on the Maze Plus Discord with someone asking how to do things. So yeah, I need to have a go at that to do with productions and stuff. So I was reminded by our friendly alien of some things, that a feature of Maze Plus that I had ignored. So I'll have a look at that this week, depending on how work treats me. Yeah, we're doing well. I really thought this would take way longer. Anyway, I am going to crack on. Back in a bit. I guess the other big news this week from Giants was them partnering with a developer whose name I can't remember, but I think they've partnered with them in terms of their game publishing capabilities, and it's the people who something to do with the Project Cars guys. So it kind of feels like Giants are going to I watched Farm Sim Guy's video on it, and I read a little bit of the press stuff. Kind of seems like Giants might be doing the publishing for a car racing game, which will be interesting. Whether any of the car racing simulation stuff will pour over into vehicle dynamics in Farm Sim, who knows? But I think that's probably, assuming Giants have got the staffing, I think that's probably a good thing for the longevity of the franchise of Farm Sim. I think certainly most of you guys that are watching this are probably maybe a little bit obsessed with Farming Simulator. Oh, we were a little bit premature there. You're watching some random guy pretend to be a farmer. And so we want many more versions of this game. And I think Giants being a relatively, they're an independent developer. They self-publish now. They're not the hugest company in the world, I don't think. So having and being a single game, obviously they've got the different versions of the game, but having, I can see pluses and minuses, but having another game and as part of not franchise, but what the company produces has probably got to be good for their overall business survivability, I guess. One bad farm sim would probably sink the whole franchise. But if you've got another game, now you could, if the racing game goes badly, now they're the publisher, they're not the developer, so maybe it wouldn't hurt so much. But I think it's a good thing for the company that is Giants, and therefore it's a good thing for fans of Farm Sim, because Farm Sim is produced by a company, and the companies have to make money to exist. But yeah, I think that's a good thing, because we want continued development of this game. So I generally this won't shock some of you, because some of you know who I am or how I am. I'm someone who plays the same things over and over again. I mentioned Battle Pirates. I have been playing that game now for I don't know how many years. Over 10 years, probably. I could go back and look, but over 10 years. only discovered Farming Simulator with FS19. But I could see me playing this game for a very long time. I know some people come and go from it. They'll pick it up when a new version comes out. They'll play it for a bit. They'll get bored. They'll come back when the next new version comes out. That kind of thing. There are some games that I've got in my Steam library that I'll pick up and play for a few weeks or months, and then I'll drop it and I'll go back to it again a year later or whatever. Truck Simulator is one of those. I've never got super into it, but every so often I'll play it for a bit. Stormworks used to be a game like that. Yeah. But I think Farm Sim, clearly, is a game that I kind of has become one of my games that I'm going to be playing for quite a while. So I would quite like it to get continued development. There's actually something else interesting that has been occurring to me lately. The other game that I play, we won't mention its name because it upsets some of you, has added official mod support. And Farm Sim has mod support, and we all know modding makes Farm Sim awesome. I'm playing almost exclusively with mods. And you know, some people complain that Giants don't acknowledge or reward modders enough. Modders get paid with mods in Farm Sim. It's not a huge amount, but you know, popular modders will make more. But so there is official mod support in the game we shall not mention, the more popular game on my channel that we shall not mention, and modders make nothing from it. So they just upload their mods to the Steam Workshop. We as players can download them, and that's it. So yeah, it's and you know, it's not like FS modding that I'm aware of anyway, where you know modders will have other ways of players sending them their gratitude, shall we say. Certainly not something I'm aware of, and it seems to be a lot more that mods are made for the joy of modding. This is probably going to come across completely wrong, and most of the mods are smaller, but there are some mods that are significant amounts of work. You know, entire ecosystems, and as far as I'm aware, the creator gets no reward for that other than the satisfaction of it being an incredibly popular thing. So yeah, it's certainly the system that Giants have with uploading to ModHub and rewards based on downloads and that kind of thing is a much better process than, you know, the Steam Workshop, where you push it up and yeah, there's no testing that the mod works. It's down to the modder to have checked that it works and that kind of thing. It feels very different actually, and before that it was, you know, it was completely different because there was no official mod support. There were mods, but they were done through, you know, some people doing clever scripting and stuff to allow mods to work in the game, and you went to a website, you downloaded these tools which forced mods into the game, and you downloaded the mods and they worked, and then every time the game updated, mods stopped working for a bit, and yeah. But yeah, it's, you know, I think as a Farm Sim community, we take for granted that you know, you can go to either the Giants website or into ModHub in the game. You can download a mod. It's been tested and by Giants, and that gives you some assurance that it will work. It won't have malware in it, because we've seen the first instances of mods that have malicious bits in them where they delete your save games and stuff. And there's none of that with, you know, certainly the other game that I play. People just upload things to the Steam Workshop, and I mean, you can access the Steam Workshop through the game, but there's no checking of these things that I'm aware of that get uploaded. So the developers of the game have a GitHub that has some guides on how to make mods, but yeah, it's just completely different. And I think bits of the community often complain about how Giants don't support modders and all this kind of thing, but if you compare it to other games, they're not doing a bad job. They could do better sometimes, but they're not doing a bad job. So yeah, obviously the game without mods would have none of the longevity that these games do. You know, how long would you have played FS whatever with the 2 or 3 standard maps, the standard equipment, you know, no Maze Plus? I mean, they have Maze Plus and cons, but you know what I mean. None of the things that change how we play the game. Yeah. I obviously just said earlier, I started playing in FS 19. I don't know if when mod support became a thing, what. I know, you know, I know as far back as I think 15, certainly 17 had mods, because there are some dodgy converts of some of those older versions of game mods. But yeah, I don't know. So far, this new theory is working. It's certainly not got dark yet, and we've got a decent amount of work done. We're doing a job of work, as someone else would say. Should be able to get this little corner finished off nicely, and yeah, next time we'll need to get ourselves a combine. It almost feels like a waste hiring a combine for that tiny strip of corn. I might try and find the cheapest combine we can get to do that, because it doesn't feel like it's worth spending very much money to. Wow, that worked out surprisingly well. To harvest that corn. And maybe while we don't need the grain mill, because we've already milled all of our grain. So I could either throw it in the silo, we can mill it at some point, or just sell it. Either way. No one watch. I'm not turning with the legs of the subsoiler in the ground. Honest. There we go. Yeah. For what? I honestly did not think this would be a one-day job. And I'm liking the voucher. It's got a few little gearbox issues. It's interesting, in the changelog for it, it spoke about having fixed some gearbox issues, but uphill, it's struggling a little bit with some gear shifts. But otherwise, it's done a nice job. It's going to be a good fieldwork tractor, and I am quite pleased with it. We will have a quick check of the sheep before we go. But yeah, I am happy with that. I'm going to turn off the need to mulch. Yeah, we got pretty much all of it. We've gained a fertilization state, so this field is going to be good for the spring as well. We should get a pretty nice yield off of here now, with it having been ploughed, fully fertilized and lined. So I need to get a front loader for this tractor for the winter when we need to do all the feeding. We'll just quickly check on the sheep. Yeah, so they've only used about 1,000. They've not used very much food. I need to do the maths on the food that they're using. How much wool is in that pallet? How's our production looking? Let's move that as well. I love this little pallet truck. It's cool. Just starting to get dark, but that's okay. Giddy's just got up. As is often the way at the moment, I am recording with the dogs. The trip into London that we had to do was pretty exhausting for Mrs. D, so she's been having a day to recuperate. Let's get this in the fabric store or fabric production, and we'll call it a day. There we go. Awesome. So yeah, thanks for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, click the like button. Any comments, questions or suggestions, stick them below, and I'll see you next time.